Alrighty, guys out there, guys and girls. Here's something that I haven't posted that wanted to show you. Maybe you would come across one of these on your running around, maybe at sporting goods shops, gun shops, also flea markets. Flea markets sell guns too. Um, these are actually either you like them or you don't like them. You hate them. These are called a bolt action shotgun. And they came in different variations, different calibers, gauges, different manufacturers. They weren't as popular as people thought they were. I mean, back in the day, in the 40s and 50s, not many people would purchase these. But if you bought one of these, like I said, you either hate them or you love them. And one thing about these, I would say the majority of the people I know, they never were interested in buying one of these. But as soon as they picked one up, they couldn't put it back down anymore. They actually loved it. So I really don't know anybody out there that hated them. They're kind of odd because it is a shotgun, like I said, and it is bolt action, as you can see. So it's in good shape. It's unloaded. Nothing in the chamber. This particular one is made by Sears, or actually it's not made by Sears, it's made by High Standard, but it has the Sears name on it. So back in the day, they called it J C Higgins. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that name, J C Higgins. Great firearms because they were made by different manufacturers. High Standard was one of their manufacturers that would allow Sears to post their name on it. And here's the buttstock, the butt pad, I mean. Let me try to focus this in. Can't get it. So this is the original rubber butt pad. It has the J C Higgins signature into the rubber here, which you don't see that often, and it's in good shape. See, this shotgun really hasn't been used that much. Has not been redone or reblued. It's all original. I'm looking at maybe 40s, 50s, maybe mid 50s. This was made. It does have a safety. Let me show you. Safe is forward, fire is back. It is a 3-round, and what you do is you load it in here. Actually, yeah, that's where you load it. So you would bring it back, okay, and then load it right in here. Sorry about that. I'm thinking about my pump shotgun. So you would load the 2 and then put one in the chamber and then load one more if you wanted to. I believe there's a plug in here. So you might be able to put another 2 more in here if you take the plug out. But usually they do come with a plug. And then you're ready to go hunting. It's a little heavy. But again, back in the day, they built, quality firearms. Not like the polymers today and the plastics and the aluminum alloys and crap like that. So this one, they don't come up that often in this good a shape. Now let me show you how good a shape this is in. I mean, look at the bluing on the barrel. See the bluing? I mean, yeah, it's got a little scratch right there, but that could be rubbed out. That's not into the metal. Take a little oil and Brillo pad or steel wool, I mean, and you could clean this up a little bit better. There's a little mark there. Oops. Little mark there. But other than that, this thing's immaculate as far as the bluing goes. I mean, look at that bluing. You could clean the bolt up. Has a little bit of discoloration through the years. That could take a steel wool pad. But make sure you use the super fine, like the 4, or I mean the 00 or 000. Now let me just show you this here with the name. Focus it in. Oops. There you go, J C Higgins, model 583.21, Sears and Roebuck and Company. A lot of people are starting to realize that these Sears guns are really good guns, but again, you don't have you know, a manufacturer's name on them, like Winchester or Mossberg, or Mossberg made a lot of these in these bolt action shotguns. And you used to be able to pick them up for $50, $75. Now they're going anywhere from $100 to $350. So, depending on the condition. This particular one, you might be able to get $250, $260, somewhere around there for it, as it is right now in this economy, depending on the collector. Now, I did meet a few collectors out there that love these shotguns, that's all they buy is bolt actions. But they're not going to pay any more than $100 a piece for them. The two collectors that I met. But if you want something like this, it's worth to spend up to a couple $100, especially if it's in good condition. I don't want to go any more than $250. But you know, as time goes on, they're going to keep going up, I'm sure. I missed one that was a 410, and I wish I would have bought the 410 at the time. It's a little lighter than this. And there was one that was made by Mossberg that was a 410, and it was just a single barrel, or you know, it was a bolt action, but just one shotgun shell. So it didn't have a capacity or a capacity tube on it. It was just you load the 410 in there, and that's all you had. And you got to watch these sometimes, because when you bring the bolt back, see how you hit your thumb. So basically what you're doing is you're bringing the bolt back like a rifle. You know, if you want to load it, and just be very careful pointing it down. Don't point it at anybody. Make sure your safety's on, and never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. So then you could go hunting and just keep it up in the air, or keep it pointed on the ground. But when I used to go hunting, I used to keep my shotgun up in the air, away from anybody, so in case it did go off. But other than that, just play it safe out there, especially with these bolt actions. There was a recall on this particular model, but it wasn't for the 16 gauge. Oh, this is 16 gauge. As you know, I love my 16 gauges. But for the model, the same particular model came in different variation of numbers for serial number, or not serial numbers, model numbers. And it was recalled because of the safety. Sometimes the safety would go off, and even without the trigger being pressed, sometimes if you hit that safety a certain way, it would push the bolt pin, and sometimes it would go off. But if you do find one in 12 gauge, kind of just be careful on that safety if it wasn't fixed, because a lot of people did send them back to get fixed. But the 16 gauge, the 20 gauge wasn't recalled. They're good. And I believe the 410 also wasn't recalled. So there you go. Very simple operation. A little bit heavy, like I said, a little bit thick on the wood. But again, you're getting a well-built, good quality shotgun. You know, when you look at shotguns, you want a little bit of weight, because you don't want it to kick up, you know, as much as a lot of these light guns that are made today, the shotguns. Because, you know, they get a big kick on them, especially a 12 gauge. I don't understand why people want 12 gauges, because you don't really need it. 16 gauge, even 20 gauge. 28 gauge is a great one. 410 is unbelievable. And I love those. I love the 410s and the 16s. I've never owned a 28 gauge, so I couldn't tell you about that, but 12 gauge, you could have them. Not worried about getting a 12 gauge in any type of shotgun, but I do have a few of them that are 12, because I couldn't pass up the deal years ago. So there you go. J C Higgins, stamped by Sears. That was their Sears name, J C Higgins. Probably made in the 50s, mid and late 50s. Sorry about the video quality. 16 gauge shotgun. 2 in the chamber, in the magazine tube. 1 in the chamber. I'm sure you could take the plug out, put another couple more in. Just a all-around good quality shotgun for hunting squirrels, rabbits, even pheasant. I mean, it's a little bit awkward to hunt birds with it, but pheasants or rabbits and squirrels would be great. And if you come across one pretty reasonable, pick it up. They're always neat to have, and they're going to go up in value, just like anything else. You know, once people get a feel for these and they buy one, you're going to have more people collecting them. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I wanted to get this one in, and especially the bolt action. Just a kind of an odd shotgun, and take care.